Welcome to the very short video on extinction events. After this video, attached to this PowerPoint presentation is a mini project, which is not that big a video. It should probably take maybe 45 minutes to an hour, where you're going to research a specific extinction event in the history of our Earth. But before we begin that, let's do the introduction to extinction events. So, the question is, on the history of our Earth, what caused large extinction events? Okay. And usually, you can think about it. If we were in class, I'd pause for a second and then be like, okay, let's think about it. But we're not in class. So what are some things that could cause extinction events? Usually extinction events are caused by extreme environmental change. So one of the extinction events is thought to be has been caused by a meteor hitting the Earth and changing the temperature and sort of like ability of sun to reach the Earth. Others have been caused by volcanic eruptions. Others have been caused by, for some reason, the temperature of the oceans changing. Others have been caused by, if you remember, we talked about in the origin of Earth, the oxygen revolution, where oxygen all of a sudden became available, and that caused some organisms who couldn't deal with oxygen to die, and those that could use it to their advantage. So usually there's some sort of extreme environmental change, okay, that causes extinction events. Another thing that happened, and you probably know, is that the Earth was once not separated by oceans, or the lands of the Earth were not separated by oceans. It was once one large landmass called Pangaea, and then it separated into the continents, and that also caused lots of extinction of organisms. If we look at the history of life on Earth, and this is on this axis, we have the extinction rate, and then we have time as we're going across. So this is far back, and then this is more recent. You'll see in the history of the Earth there have been like 5 major extinction events where the extinction rate increased. We have this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here, and that one here. And as part of this assignment, you're going to research one of these extinction events and find out what they think caused it, what organisms died, what new organisms came about. If you also look at the graph on the next slide, you'll sort of see that where the extinction event occurred, so if we go back here, there's an extinction event here, and you can see that the number of total organisms on the Earth at that point is going down, but then it recovers. And it seems to almost always completely recover until, like, we're getting to almost common day, where, like, obviously the trend is upward. But every single time there's an extinction event, it seems the number of organisms on the Earth go down, or families of organisms on the Earth go down, it recovers. Okay? And that is due to a term which we've used a lot, but we're going to use again, adaptive radiation, okay? Which is the process by which organisms rapidly diversify into new forms. Okay? And again, this is usually due to an environmental change, okay, that makes new resources available and also creates new challenges. So some organisms can't meet those challenges and die, okay, and others can meet those challenges and they thrive, okay. Again, an example of adaptive radiation that we already talked about is Darwin's finches, right, on the islands of the Galapagos. The birds' beaks that were not adapted to the food source died, and those that were able to eat the food, survive, and reproduce. Okay? But extinction events are an example of where adaptive radiation would occur, right? There's extreme environmental change, okay? And some organisms can't handle that environmental change, so they die. And other species of organisms can, and they thrive. Okay? Now, adaptive radiation and also extinction events are more consistent with the theory of punctuated equilibrium than they are with the theory of gradualism. So extinction events are, I guess, evidence for the theory of punctuated equilibrium, that evolutionary change or speciation occurs rapidly in bursts. Again, both are true, but the extinction events support the theory of speciation of punctuated equilibrium, that evolution and speciation occurs in rapid bursts and in periods of very little change. So now, you have all been assigned a event, which in your email you should check, and you've got another email from me that has assigned you an extinction event. So let's go take a look at the project so you know what to do. So Here it is. Let's close this. Okay, so you're going to assemble a presentation, so like PowerPoint or the Google slide, whatever you feel comfortable, about one of these 4 extinction events. I actually might add another one. I got to do some research about another one because I kind of really want 5. You'll be emailed the one in your inbox by now. Should be the one that you've been assigned. And then you need to answer these questions, okay, using the interwebs. Okay, the general question you can find in your notes. And then you need to look up where the extinction took place, the environmental factors or climate changes that were thought to cause the extinction, and what evidence they have that that's the case. What organisms that went extinct, and if you can include some sort of like imagery of the organisms that went extinct. And then what organisms took place of the organisms that went extinct, and what allowed them to adapt. Like, why were they able to survive in the new conditions? At the end of the PowerPoint, you should put, like, the websites that you got. No need for APA format, but just put the places where you got your resources from. All right? So check your email for your assignment, and I'll see you on Monday.